to another episode of Pretty Suited Podcast, where we discuss career, culture, and the commitment to being our best selves. I'm your host, Lauren A. Fall is here. Yes, I'm so happy that fall is here. Finally, it feels like it took forever for fall to get here. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, summer's cool and all, but in the South, I don't know about you, but in the South, it's been hot. But I feel, the weather kind of toning down in the evening, and I'm super duper happy about that. I am excited for fall weather. I'm getting my sweaters out of the back. I'm pulling out the bins in the back of my closet with all of my stuff in it. And I'm excited. It's about that time. Okay. This little tank top here, it's not going to cut it. Okay. And I'm excited about that. I'm ready for sweater weather. I'm ready for cardigans. It doesn't get that cold down here, so I definitely need to relax. But either way, even if I do travel, I can still pull out, my nice fall gear. So, but anyways, as you guys can see, I am pretty chill today. Honestly, this is an impromptu episode. I feel like I haven't recorded in a while, and there's just been so much going on. Lately, I have just been super busy, honestly, at work. This 9-to-5 life. Please, somebody come and save me from it. Okay? I could definitely use a millionaire husband. Okay, with vacation homes and travel itineraries. I can use that. I'm sick and tired. Okay. But thankfully, September, although it was a hoot nanny or some bullshit, however you want to call it, it's over. I'm ready to have my pumpkin loaf and pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks and move on. Okay. So I want to get into a topic that I've been seeing across my timeline. And it's about therapy. I feel like the topic of therapy, when we speak of resting and relaxation and self-care and celebrating our wins, all of that is a part of wellness. We understand that the mental part of it does matter. And I think that therapy kind of gets thrown into that conversation, but it's not necessarily accepted by all people. And I think that it can benefit a lot of people. But unfortunately, in society, especially amongst African Americans, it has developed now. I'm not going to sit up here and lie and say that nobody goes to therapy, because we have seen an influx of not only people going to therapy, but also Black therapists. So that is a wonderful thing. However, when it comes to men in therapy, and even women, some people just, I feel like they see it as an option. And they see it as, even if they do need it, that it's kind of a form of weakness if they do have it. And a lot of times people will even attempt to go to therapy and get absolutely nothing from it. They'll go and they get absolutely nothing from it. And why is that? Well, I think a lot of that has to deal with, how they perceive therapy to be, and also what they put into it, because therapy is a lot more than just sitting on the couch. But this gentleman in this clip, he proposed a different plan that, people can use, particularly Black men, could do outside of therapy or in conjunction with, I'm not sure. Take a look at this clip.
I want you to answer the question. Do Black men need therapy?
From a therapist?
Maybe. I would like to see that, but
I think before or after. I think before a therapist.
Before a therapist.
Black men need to know what is therapeutic to them. And you need to find something that you can release to, whether it be via a one hobby and a person that you trust enough and you respect enough to shut up and listen and not always have an answer to.
Yeah.
And you could talk and feel safe. Yes, because you're gonna drive yourself crazy. Yeah.
So you're saying that it's kind of like I don't want to say makeshift, but like a makeshift therapist. Like you don't actually have to go sit on the couch, give somebody your insurance.
Maybe you do.
So as you can see, she was just kind of like a makeshift therapist, like a person that you can speak to that is not a therapist, but you could talk to them. And in my opinion, I would say that you have to be careful with that. I think that what he was trying to portray was just having a support system overall. So that way therapy is not the only option, because, there's no point of you going to therapy if everything around you is still not really supportive of you or whatever the case may be. However, you cannot rely on one particular person or a group of people to be your emotional dump, or to be able to help you work through a lot of the deep rooted issues. You cannot expect them to do that because it's not their job. Friendship and family and things like that are supposed to be able to lean on one another, sure. However, they're not licensed or trained enough to be able to handle some of the things that you may be going through. Now, I will agree with him that you have to be open to therapy. It doesn't start on the couch. It does start with you being accountable for your actions. It starts with you holding other people accountable for how they treated you and how it contributed to your life and your trauma and things like that. Like, you have to be able to make therapy work for you, because if you're sitting on that couch and you're just talking away and not even talking, right? That therapist can just be giving you tips and tricks to help, and you're not applying them, or you're shut off or don't want to share. Do you really think that therapy is going to work for you? Probably not. So, just understanding that part about it, I think is important, is that therapy has to work for you if you allow it to. And, setting that up beforehand with, taking some accountability, making sure that, you attend these sessions, making sure that you are practicing the exercises that therapist gives to you. That's the only way it's going to work. And then everybody around you, once they start to see that the changes in you, hopefully they'll be able to support you even more, and then also allow that safe space for you to just be able to change. Because what you don't want is to change and then everybody around you is either mad at your change for the better, or they are jealous, or whatever the case may be, or just try to stifle it. And then now you can see, hey, this person or that person may not be for me, because they're not going to fit in with who it is I'm trying to be. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting thing, because a lot of people will say, well, I don't need to go to therapy because, I got a friend, I got a best friend, I got a mama, but they're not your therapist. Like, you cannot expect them to take on that role. It's unfair. It's completely unfair. And it's unfair for people to not, trust or to allow, mental health professionals to do their job, because, this is what they do. So yeah, that's like saying, I'm not going to go to the doctor because my grandma, got a Band-Aid. What? Okay. That's great for small cuts, but it's not great for amputations. Okay. That was a word. So going along the lines of, just trying to reinvent yourself, going along the lines of trying to do better for yourself. There was a recent post by, you could say, social media influencer, Brittany Renner, where, she has been known to basically utilize her beautiful body, utilize her, her quirkiness and her ties to different athletes and entertainers and things like that to become famous. Very outspoken woman, has no problems telling it like it is, has no problem even being transparent or being truthful about any kind of surgery she's had and who she's been affiliated with. So she just was kind of even almost a troublemaker in a sense, because a lot of the entertainers didn't really want, their name out there like that. Honestly, it was kind of like a tell-all situation. However, recently she made the decision to practice Islam, basically showing up on social media in full attire and a hijab, and speaking Arabic, things of that nature, as a practicing Muslim. Check this clip out.
Allahu Akbar. I've gone through a lot of changes internally, and as a result, my outer world has completely crumbled. Sorry. Woo! Wow. Leaving me incredibly uncertain in just about every area in my life. I have no idea where I'm going to live or how I'm going to provide for my son. But Allah has moved mountains for me, and I trust that this will be no different. I feel like Alice when she ate the cookie and her feet went through the windows and she's crammed in the house like that. I've outgrown where I am. The facade is fading, alhamdulillah. And I'm at a place where I don't want anything that doesn't have my name on it. Take it away. It serves no purpose here. And I don't want a penny more than I'm meant to have, because I can do a lot with a little. The facade is fading. And when the facade fades and all the BS is cleared out, it makes room for what has always been for you.
So, as you can see, for a person who seemingly made their living and, a decent amount of money, going on Instagram, talking about her stories, talking about her encounters, showing off her body, things like that. She made a good living off of that. So going from that to basically being covered up, speaking about religion, speaking about your improvement. Unfortunately, nobody wants to hear that. I mean, I hate to sound so blunt, but unfortunately, nobody wants to hear that. And I'm not saying I don't want to hear that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that most people who value, people, their defeat, their downfall, they value anarchy, they value just drama, trauma, all of the things that they like to see on social media. Once you showcase that to those people and you try to better yourself in any kind of way when they've already put you in this box, unfortunately, nobody wants to see that. It's really sad that is the case. It's really sad that we live in a society where somebody who really wants to better their life, they can't do it out of fear. Who are we to tell her that she can't do better for herself? Or she can't do something that changes her life as she see fit? Who are we to tell her that she can't do something that's not going to harm her, that may actually improve her life? Everybody may not be religious. That's fine. Everybody may not be Muslim. That's fine. However, I think that when it comes to finding something that gives you a solid foundation, that gives you purpose, that gives you, something to build on, especially when you're raising children, because she does have a kid, what's the harm in that? Why are we so dead set on keeping people in a box? Why are we so dead set in keeping people in the way that we saw them in the first place? Now, I can rebuttal this and say that, like Maya Angelou said, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. And I get that. I'm a firm believer in that, right? We don't want to just be missing red flags just for the sake of, seeing the good in people. We get that, right? But she blatantly made mention of how the path that she was on was destructive. And, it was detrimental to her being a good mom and all of the things. As she started to make this transition, she's not getting paid the amount of money that she was getting paid before. Why? Because a lot of her brand deals was predicated on her showing her ass. So, I'm pretty sure she didn't want that to just stop just willy-nilly. Is she hurting anybody? No. Is a kid in danger because of it? I don't think so. Not from what I've seen. But I feel like, again, it does go back to, it's not even about Britney. It's about people not wanting to see you in a different light. Forget all the Britney Renner stuff. I don't know her from a can of paint. She could be making this all up. I'm just saying in general, as people try to improve their lives, whether it's through religion, whether it's through wellness, whether it's through therapy, whether it's through dietary changes and habits and lifestyle, things, whether it's changing their circle of friends, regardless, whether it's changing their career, people do not like to see you change. Why? Because it puts a mirror in front of them to say, do I need to change? And if you do that, then no, we can't have that. We can't have that. I don't know. I just thought that was pretty interesting. She's not the only one who, is like this. Karen Steffens, Melissa Ford. I'm not saying that all these women are alike. I'm just saying they've been in the entertainment industry for years, and they've been connected with certain people. And then if people see you as a video vixen or a model or ex-wife or whatever, they just cannot pull you. They still call Shawnee O'Neal. That woman been divorced from that man for years. They still call, it's embedded in their minds for this person to be a certain way. And when that person is no longer that way, then they don't know what to do. And then they get angry because they don't know what to do. And it's just like, okay, this is weird. And I just to say that for the average person, this applies as well, because what we don't want to do is allow people to put us in a box that prevents us from growing, that prevents us from learning, that prevents us, that, keeps us where they would like for us to be. This is your life, okay? And getting others to, go along with everything that you need to do for you, you're going to have a hard day, because people are just not going to get along with everything that you say that you need to do for yourself. Why? Because they're not you. They're not you. And so they may not agree. And that's okay. That's okay. Because at the end of the day, too, those who really want to see you succeed, those who really want to be your, community, they'll go along with it as long as it's the right thing to do. But if it's, now, of course, if you're doing something crazy, like, picking up crack cocaine or, starting scamming and whatnot, if he's doing some things that's out of pocket, then they may have something to say. Like, you might need to get your life together. But if it's something that's bettering you as a person or helping you to grow and develop and improve your family, break generational curses, then yeah, I think that if they're still hating on you for doing that, then they may not be the community for you anymore. And you know what? I think that God has a way of showing you who these people are. Before you even complete the change, he'll show you who they are. And then you'll be like, dang, you really not for me, huh? You had a mask on this whole time. And you'll really get that information revealed to you. And so thankful for that, because, sometimes we can't remove certain people and things out of our lives because we don't know how to. It's our comfort zone. It's our community. But once you say that prayer of remove things from me type stuff, oh, best believe people and places and things will start to crumble. They will start to slowly remove themselves out of their life, or even abruptly. Because the reason why, and I used to hate the abrupt part. I used to hate the violent, departure. But you know what's funny about the violent departure, or like the tumultuous departure? It's actually good for us. Oh, it's going to hurt. It sucks. Very much so. But the tumultuousness of it is good for us because we wouldn't have done it otherwise. We wouldn't have done it otherwise because we were too comfortable, or we would have made an exception. But because it was so like two-piece, you know what I'm saying? Then you had no choice but to let that thing go. So again, be careful who, start to get a little iffy when you want to do better for yourself. Be careful about those people. Be careful about that, because So now we're going to get into our watch list of the week. This week's watch list of the week is a little bit different because it's not about a show that I have seen or a movie that I have seen. It's one that I want to see. And I need your guys' help because I want to see if it's a good show to watch before I watch it. This is the Aquarius kicking in. I want to know. So I've been seeing this show on Hulu with Morris Chestnut and this other young, beautiful black woman on it. And I think it's about some lawyers or something like that. And I keep scrolling. You know how Hulu, you have like your continue watching, what you should be watching, some new stuff that's out, all that good stuff. I always seem to scroll past it and go back to continue watching, and it's all the shows that I've been watching since the beginning of time. Living Single, a different, a Living Single, Martin, freaking Golden Girls. Like, it's all the shows that I keep watching over and over again. Family Matters, But I need to watch this show because it keeps hitting me in the face. And everybody, I don't know, some people said it was good. Some people, I haven't heard anything from it. Like, I don't know. You let me know this week's Watch of the Week. Is that show a good show? Is Morris Chestnut giving what needs to be given? Is that young lady doing what she needs to do for this show? Tell me. I would like to know. Leave a comment. Let me know if it's the right thing to do. Is another show I want to watch. I want to see Love is Blind, season 7. That's coming out, or that already came out. I'm behind on that. I'm behind on the Menendez brothers show on Netflix. I feel like I've seen the Menendez brothers documentary several times. So many different networks have made their version of this. And so I feel like, it's another version, but everybody's saying it's good. And so I just want to check that out. What else? I've been watching Chopped and a lot of Halloween baking competitions. That's my, little escape. So I've been watching a lot of Halloween cupcake, Halloween pumpkin challenge, Halloween, whatever, just getting in the spirit, but I really do need to find a good show I can binge. Once Upon a Time, I will say this. I have been also rewatching Once Upon a Time. I don't know if anybody is familiar with the show, but this came out probably like in 2011, 2012. And it's about Disney characters or fairy tale characters that have been, put in modern day world and trying to get back to the fairy tale world. And it's just all interwoven together. Hook and Peter Pan and then Frozen and then, Snow White and all that. They're all intertwined in like modern stories as well as the old stories. And I really love this show. And so if you've never watched it, it's called Once Upon a Time. It's like 6 or 7 seasons of it. And let me tell you, like, it's corny. Don't get me wrong. It's corny, but it's a cute corny. It's a good corny, how they put the characters together. So I would say really watch that if you're into that kind of stuff. How I just love how they rewrote these characters into a modern world and a modern story. So check that. I don't know why they got rid of that. Maybe they just ran out of Disney characters and fairy tale characters because they use every last single one of them at this point. And so I think it ended a few years back, but I have been watching that too. But just let me know what I need to catch up on. Let me know, and nothing too crime. Like I'm sick and tired of this person killed 32 people and ate their bodies and put them under the stairs and whatnot. I don't need that in my spirit right now. I'm just getting over a tough month. I don't need that in my spirit. So yeah, just something other than that. So now let's get into our tune of the week. So this week's tune of the week comes from an album by Leon Thomas. If you guys must know him, he was on Victorious on Nickelodeon. He was a, character on that show, and it was a great Nickelodeon show, but he grew up. Of course, he was on Issa Rae's Insecure as the neighbor she was getting a little, some things from, you know what I'm saying? And he did well on that show, but now he's getting more into the, music, and he puts out some really, really great music. And he just put out a song called Mutt on his new album, and that song has been in rotation for me. It is a really, really good song. He has like a very mellow, like smoky fall smoggy day vibe. I really, really do enjoy his music. It does really give neo soul, but in a modern way, if that makes any sense. Not like a Lucky Day though. I think they're two different lanes, but it's still kind of contemporary R&B, but just in a different way. Like his voice is a little bit more like untamed tailored, you know what I'm saying? And it's not polished really. It sounds like he's doing it on an audio cassette, honestly. Like, so I really do like his energy. I like his music. It's very vibey. So check that out. It's called Mutt by Leon Thomas. So that brings us to the end of the episode. Very short, very sweet, very, to the point and all that good stuff. But I'm just glad to be here. But again, just keep your mental. Just please, guys, keep your mental. It's so many things I could have touched on. I could have touched on Diddy. I could have touched on, the mayor of New York. I could have touched on, Sierra Russell. I could have touched on Chloe Halle and DDG. I could have touched on a lot of things. I could have touched on the housing market. I could have touched on how, these jobs is posting fake jobs just to make it seem like they're getting people for the job and there's no jobs out here. I could have touched on all that. It's some real stuff going on, but I really do feel like it's just information overload, and just kind of like we do need a break every once in a while from the things that's just constantly on our feed and constantly on our TVs that's, telling us that the world is blowing up. So, just a little bit of a segue. I really just wanted to just, tap in with you guys and just make sure everything was good, make sure that we were still, here. I thank you for still hanging around. My subscribers, thank you for joining. The few that have joined in the past month or so, thank you for joining. Just, comment, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys like to hear, what you'd like for me to talk about, what kind of books you would like for me to read so I can still do my reviews. Right now I'm rereading an old book, so I don't know if I want to include this in my review, but still, just let me know if you want me to review any books as well, and, share the love. So as always, you cannot manifest the life you feel like you don't deserve. So create the life that you want and look to the sky for grace. See you next time. Bye.